culture. Rapping, we do it for the whole squad. We was down, but we came back. We lost it all, but we came right. They can never hold us. They can never hold us.
What's up, my Silverback Gorilla Gang family? We back with another one, giving all praises and thanks to Almighty Yeshua, Almighty Yahweh, the Most High, our Savior Jesus Christ, our Father God, the King of all kings, ruler of all nations. And today, man, I got a story time for y'all, man. I'm going to tell y'all about the time when I got kicked out the crib, moved in with my ex and her mother. My ex-mother tried to smash.
What?
I turned it down, so she got mad, kicked me out, and me and her mother almost came to blows. Yes, we almost came to blows. Now, if y'all know anything about me, man, y'all know I'm against violence when it comes to men putting their hands on women. I don't agree with that, you know what I'm saying? I don't agree with anybody putting their hands on anybody. Females putting their hands on males, that ain't cool either. Just because you're a female and you feel like the law will be on your side, it doesn't give you the right to put your hands on guys either. So I feel like everybody should just keep their hands to themselves. But in this situation, it started to get out of hand when she grabbed a weapon. Now, when you grab a weapon as a woman, I do agree, a man and a woman, hand-to-hand combat, that's not equal. But as a woman, if you pick up a weapon, now the playing field is equal. Because with that weapon, you could do some serious damage. You understand? So if you don't want shit to go south, I think you should just leave it alone, walk away. Guys walk away, women walk away. Guys, don't put your hand on women. Women, don't pick up a weapon and go after the man with a weapon, because if you do that, you kind of level the playing field, and in a lot of people's opinion, it'll give him the right to knock your ass out. So everybody just stop the violence. So the story goes, this is back in the early 2000s when MySpace was still a thing. For those of you who know about MySpace and Black Planet and you know, those joints, this is when that was really popping. Facebook had just really got popping. So this is when social media became a thing for real. This is when it started, when it got popping and everybody was on it. And online dating, that's when online dating started, right? You'll get on MySpace and, you know, you'll see somebody's profile, you'll send them a message and y'all get to talking and shit. That's what happened with this female. I met this female on MySpace. I can't remember if I contacted her or if she contacted me, but somehow we got to talking on MySpace. I liked her pictures, her profile. She liked my pictures and profile. We both lived in Chicago area, so we just started talking. Hey, how you doing? Small talk. And then that small talk got to flirty talk. And then the flirty talk got to, okay, we're just getting on some cool shit. We're just starting to connect on some cool shit. Because we never met in person at this time. We were talking for weeks, maybe a month or two. And we never met, never seen each other. We were just strictly talking on MySpace. And then we exchanged numbers, and then we started talking on the phone. So we just became friends at that point. It really wasn't a boyfriend-girlfriend thing or F-buddy type thing. It was more so just cool. You know what I'm saying? Just cool people. And I was going through some things at the crib with my OG. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't listening. You know, when I was a teenager, I was real hard-headed. I didn't listen. I got in a lot of trouble. You know, I got arrested a bunch of times, and I was just wild and crazy. But especially at this time, I was 17. I was 17 years old, and I would say out of all my years, the age of 17 was my worst year as far as fucking up. Some things I regret. And at 17, you know, you think you know it all. You know what I'm saying? You think, you know, can't nobody tell you what to do. You grown and shit like that. So me and my mom was butting heads because I felt like I was grown at 17. I felt like a man. And in her house, it was her way or the highway. You know, You know how it is. A lot of black families and black moms, you know how it is when you got a black mama. And a black family, they're not going for that disrespect, you know, when it comes to elders. You're not about to disrespect your mama. You're not about to disrespect your aunts and uncles and elders. And you're not about to do that. You know, me and my mom started butting heads. I was talking back, coming in when I wanted to come in, you know what I mean, and disrespecting her house. So she like, you got to go. You got to get the fuck up out of here. You know, you're not about to, you know, be in this motherfucker doing whatever you want to do, how you want to do it. I think that shit's going to be cool. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'll leave. So I grabbed my shit. I leave out the crib. And I wasn't even prepared to leave. You know what I'm saying? You would think you would put your shit in a duffel bag or some suitcases. I ain't even had that. I put my shit in a black garbage bag. Took a garbage bag from under the kitchen counter, put my clothes in there, and just walked out the crib. When I walked out the crib, I literally walked out the crib and stood on the sidewalk like, okay, where do I go from here? What do I do? And I can't remember if I called my homegirl or my homegirl called me coincidentally at that time. I'm going to say that I think she called me because I was too pissed off at the time to even talk to anybody. And so when I picked the phone up, you know, we get to talking and I'm mad. I'm just yelling, I'm cussing, and I'm just pissed off about the whole situation. And she like, what's going on? And I'm like, I just got kicked out the crib. So she like, oh man, what you gonna do? So I'm like, shit, I don't know. And she was like, oh man, that's crazy. And I heard somebody on the other end say, wow, what's crazy? What's going on? So then my homegirl at the time, she tells her mother, oh, he just got kicked out the crib. So her mother like, what? Give me the phone. So her mother gets on the phone and she like, you got kicked out? I'm like, yeah. She like, where you going? I'm like, shit, I don't know. She like, well, we can't just have you out here, you know what I'm saying, with nowhere to go. So, I mean, until you figure something out, you could come here. Mind you, I've never met these people in person before. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, hold on, what the fuck? I don't even know these people, you know? And I get that they're being cool, they're being nice, they're offering me a place to lay my head, which, you know, was commendable, and I appreciated that. At the same time, I didn't know these people, so it's like I'm about to go live with strangers again. You know what I'm saying? For the second time in my life. So she like, yeah, you can come stay with us until you figure it out. So I'm like, you sure? She was like, yeah. She was like, matter of fact, she was like, where you at? So I told her where I was at. She was like, well, I was on the west side. She was like, well, hop on the train and hop on the red line, and the red line will take you to 95th, and I'll pick you up at 95th. So I was like, all right, cool. So I hop on the blue line, take the blue line to the red line, hop on the red line, I get off at 95th. I met her, I walked to a gas station. And as I walk up to the gas station, they pulling up, and as they pull up, mind you, like I said, I never met them in person, so I don't know what they look like in person. I know what old girl, my home girl at the time, pictures look like, but in person I never seen her. So when they pull up, I'm looking like, is that them? And they hop out the car. My homegirl hop out the car. She had on a yellow short cut-off shirt with a white skirt, and the white skirt was short than a motherfucker, showing all of the, you know, materials. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn, like shorty bad. Her mama gets out the car and she comes around, and they open the door. I put my shit, I put my bag in there, and her mama's like, damn. And when she said damn, we all know what that means, right? The way that she said it. She looked at me and she was like, damn. So I looked like, maybe I'm tripping. So I'm like, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe she ain't meaning like that. So I get in the car, boom. We go to the crib. They lived on the south side. We get to the crib, we hop out the car, and we're going up the stairs to the crib. As we walk through the front door of the crib, there's a bunch of people in the crib. As I walk in, the couch was to my right. They had two couches, one on this side, one on that side. As I walk in, a guy was sitting on the couch. I didn't know who any of these people were, but I didn't know who this dude was. So I look, I see him, and I'm just looking at old girl like, okay, tell me where I put my bag at. So she like, here, come in the room. I go to her room, I drop my bag off. So I put my bag down, I come out the room. Her mama was like, damn, you got a brother? And I started giggling like, haha, like thinking the shit funny. She like, no, I'm serious. You got a brother? And I'm like, I know I ain't. Now before, maybe I was like, maybe I could have took it out of context. But right now, I'm not taking shit out of context. She mean it exactly the way that it sounds. So at the time, I had a next door neighbor who was the big homie. You know what I'm saying? Me and him was mad cool. We was close. He was a few years older than me, but people said we looked alike. So we would play the role of brothers. So when she said that, you got a brother? And I'm like, which one? She like, the one that look like you. So I'm like, I might be able to do something for you, right? So I'm like, but I'm going to holler at him, see if it's cool for me to give his number out, because he may not want his number to be out. Now, this is my homegirl's mother. So I'm like, it's kind of weird for your mama to be acting like that, but whatever. Because the mama acting like she on it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, whatever. So I hit up the homie. I let him know what's going on. He like, yeah, go ahead, give her the number. So the homie, who was a few years older than me, and my homegirl mama start talking. So I go back into the living room. The guy who was sitting on the couch is gone. Like when I came in and like he seen me, he took off. Like he was gone. So I didn't know who the guy was. So I'm like, It's funny that he gets up and leaves though as soon as I come in, whoever that was. Come to find out that was her dude. My homegirl, that was her dude. And I guess she told him like, oh, my homeboy about to move in. So when he witnessed the move in, I guess he was like, he went with it, which I don't blame him. So he left, boom. So I go back in the living room, I sit on the couch, chill. My homegirl come in there, she sit on the couch, chill. Her cousin come in there, and it was some dude her cousin was fucking with. So we sitting on the couch chilling. Me and my homegirl on one couch, her cousin and her dude on the other couch. We watching TV. Now a couple of hours go by. The house done cleared out. It's nighttime. All the lights is off. The only light that's on is the light from the TV. So we sitting there, we watching TV. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my homegirl, she grabs my hand and she like, come here. And she gets up and she got my hand. So I get up and she's like holding my hand and she's like walking towards the bedroom. So we get to the bedroom. The lights are still off. I'm thinking like maybe she wanna talk or some shit. Man, we get into the bedroom, G. Shorty straight. Drop the drawers. Throw the skirt up and bend over. So boom, I smash. And I smash without a cap. And at that time, it's like at 17, you're young and you're dumb. You make a lot of mistakes. And that was an immature decision. I was caught up in the moment. So when we went in the room and she dropped them and she threw the skirt up, I just felt it was time to go. You know what I'm saying? It's time to smash and, handle your business. You know what I mean? And that's what I did. I handled my business.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I took it through there, Mr. Market style. You know what I'm saying? Now, the next day, my homegirl, we still haven't established a relationship, but we just smashed last night. I'm staying here now. We slept in the same bed. It's kind of like obvious what's going on here, right? So the very next day, she gets up. She was working at White Castle at the time. And I wake up, she was already gone. I wake up, my homegirl was already at work, her mama was at work, the kids was at school. And I wake up and the phone is ringing. The phone is ringing off the hook. Whoever's calling, they calling back to back. And I wasn't answering the phone because I'm like, whoever it is, they're not calling for me. Like, I just got here. Don't nobody know I'm here. Whoever it is, that's for them. So I'm just going to let it ring. But they would not stop calling. The shit would just ring, and the shit would just constantly ring. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, maybe it's one of them calling me, and maybe it's something that they need me to do around the crib. So I picked the phone up like, yo, what's up? It was my homegirl's cousin, the one that was there the night before, that was sitting on the other couch and kicking it with us. So I pick it up. She like, hey, what you doing? I'm like, shit. She was like, who over there? I'm like, nobody, it's just me right now. She was like, oh, you there by yourself? I'm like, yeah. She like, I'm on my way.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You're on your way? I'm thinking, why the fuck would you be on your way? But I'm like, okay, maybe it's something she got to drop off. Maybe it's something she got to pick up. Like, something like this, her auntie crib. So I'm thinking maybe it's the reason she's coming over. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Hang the phone up. And she lived literally like a couple blocks away. Hang the phone up. Shorty get there. Open the door, boom. She come in. Hey, what's up? Woo. So I'm sitting on the same couch that I was sitting on last night. She goes and she sits on the couch on the other side of the living room. The same couch that she was sitting on last night. And we just small talking, you know what I mean? Watching TV, kicking it. And out of nowhere, she gets up, walks over to me and pushes me. As I'm sitting down, she's standing up and she pushes me. So I'm like, the fuck you doing? She's like, you a punk. I'm like, what? She's like, you a punk. You ain't gonna do nothing back. I'm like, man, get the fuck on with that, right? She pushes me again. I'm like, listen, shorty. Like, what the fuck is you doing? So I grab her like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, chill out. She like, nah, you ain't gonna do nothing. I'm like, yo, chill out, shorty. So as I let her go, she grabs me and we start tussling. But we tussling on some play shit. It's like a playful tussle, but it feels inappropriate because of what me and her cousin got going on. So we tussling and she flips over on the couch and she try to put my head, She try to put my head between,
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
So I'm like, whoa. I'm like, what you got going on? And then she hop up and try to act like she ain't try to do what she just did. So now, mind you, if I was another type of dude, I would have smashed her cousin right there because her cousin wanted it. I would have smashed her right there because I ain't gonna lie, her cousin was bad. Her cousin was bad, right? She was bad, the homegirl was bad, but her cousin was bad. So if I was that type of dude, I would have smashed the cousin. But I ain't that type of nigga, so I'm like, I ain't even gonna do it. So the cousin leaves, and I was like, I ain't tell her, but to myself, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna act like that didn't happen. I'm gonna ignore that situation because if I say something, it's gonna cause drama. And I already got enough shit going on right now. I'm just gonna pretend that it didn't happen and leave it alone. So boom. Fast forward. Some time go by. My homegirl finds out she's pregnant. And when she found out she was pregnant, I wasn't that surprised because I knew what the repercussions were for what we did that first night. So I was kind of expecting it, and sure enough, she was pregnant. So now finding out she's pregnant, now she gets serious because at 17 years old, you're still a kid yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's too young to be having a baby. You know what I mean? Especially with everything that having a baby entails. There's a lot that comes with that. You know, and you got to be responsible. And there's a lot of things that, you got to provide that a 17-year-old is just not qualified to provide right now. So we were too young. But at the same time, what was done was done. We couldn't take it back. We couldn't change it. We just had to move forward. So, boom. She was working at White Castle. I was running the streets at the time. I was running the streets. And I'm not proud of the person I was at that time, but I was running the streets and she was working at White Castle. So we were trying to create some finances for this child that we were about to have. So one night, this happened within some time. She had already got big and belly was big and whatnot. She was at work. She was working at White Castle. And I had got to the crib. So I got to the crib and I was watching TV in the living room. All the lights was off. Only light that was on was the TV from the living room. So I'm watching TV and the bathroom was on the main level. Her mother's bedroom was downstairs. Her mother's bedroom was in the basement. So her mother would come upstairs to take her showers and then she'd go back downstairs. But when she would do that, whoever's in the living room, you can't really see her. You don't have no interaction with her. It's not like she got to walk past you or some shit. She just come up, go there, do her thing and go back downstairs. Well, this night, she didn't do that. This night, I was watching TV. She come upstairs to take her shower. I heard her in the shower. She gets out the shower, and I'm expecting her to go back downstairs. But I hear her walking towards me in the living room. So I'm watching TV, and when you're watching TV and it's dark around you and you hear something, you don't know how close it is, but I hear her footsteps coming towards me. So I look over, and as I look over, she has on a white robe, and it's open, butt ass naked. When I say butt booty ball, she was butt booty ball naked. And glistening, because she just hopped out the shower, so I don't even think she dried off because she was glistening, right? So I'm like, oh, so I'm like, focusing on the TV, I don't know what the fuck that is, but you know what I'm saying? I'm focused on TV right now, you know what I'm saying? So as I'm watching the TV, she comes and she sits on the opposite couch of where I'm at. And she opens the robe and she kicked her leg up on the couch, butt naked. So as I'm watching TV, you can notice out of your peripheral. But I want to take a glance to make sure I ain't tripping because I know this can't be going on right now. So I glance over and it's exactly, yep. Just to clarify, yep. That's what it was. Shorty was over there butt, booty, ball naked, robe wide open.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
So I'm like, oh. So I'm watching TV what in the Jerry Springer Maury is going on here? And I try to ignore it, so I just watch TV, and then after she sits there for a while, and I don't say nothing, I don't do nothing, she gets pissed off. And she was like, you don't want no pussy. And she throws her robe clothes, gets up and walks off and walk back to her room with an attitude, you don't want this pussy. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I pass. I don't want that. So she was pissed the fuck off. But now I'm sitting here what the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened? She's mad at me now. Now me and her have an issue now because she's pissed at me because I didn't smash her. When at this time, because mind you, this is months later, I told you, her my friend who turned into my girlfriend, who was my girlfriend at the time, her belly had already gotten big at this point. By this time, months had passed. It started out me and the homegirl being homeboy, homegirl, but once we found out she was pregnant, that's when we decided to be boyfriend, girlfriend type shit. So at this time, now I'm looking like, your daughter at work right now. You know what's going on. You know what's going on. We about to have a baby you know what our situation is, and here you go throwing a pussy at me when your daughter not at the crib, when your daughter at work. Now you expecting me and you to smash every time your daughter leave the crib? So now I'm like, okay. But I'm wondering how this is gonna play out. Because I had a feeling that she was going to try some slick shit because she didn't want me to tell her daughter what she did. So she was gonna try to pull a fast one. Some way, somehow, I knew she was gonna try to pull a fast one. You know? So fast forward, I didn't tell my ex at the time. I didn't tell her what her mama did. I just ignored it the same way I ignored the cousin. I ignored her mama. I just act like it didn't happen because I didn't want to cause no drama at the crib. And sure enough, drama came anyway because one day soon after that, really soon after that, her mother was already starting to act funny towards me with an attitude after that happened. So very soon after that, I remember I woke up one day, me and my ex was in the bed, and it's early in the morning, and the bed was like to the wall. My ex slept close to the wall, I slept towards the outside of the bed. And as I'm asleep, I wake up, and as I wake up, her mother had came in the room, and she leaned over me to wake up my ex. But as she's leaning over to wake up my ex, the was in my face. Right in my face. I mean, I'm like this, and she's leaning over me, and it's right here. So I'm like, what the fuck? So when that happened, I already knew. I knew what the fuck time, I knew what was going on. It wasn't that was a mistake, an accident, she wasn't trying to do it. You did that shit on purpose. So soon after that, I'm in the crib, and her mother was in the living room watching TV. My ex, she was running around doing something. I was in the bedroom playing the game. Her mother was in the living room watching TV. I'm in the bedroom playing the game. As I'm playing the game, her mother comes into the room and she's like, I'm about to go run some errands real quick, I'll be back. So I'm like, all right, cool. She leaves. When she leaves the crib, she gets in the car, she go where she go. She did not turn off the TV in the living room. So the TV in the living room still on. I'm in the bedroom playing the game. I still remember too, I was playing that 50 Cent game. Y'all remember that 50 Cent game that he had back in the day? It was had a storyline to it.
Dog, it's me. What's up?
50, I'm in fucking trouble, man. Can you meet me?
Tell me where you at. 50 Cent, the hardest motherfucker on the streets. A lot of niggas found that out the hard way. And a lot more were about to.
Lloyd Banks, he's a legend. The only thing he can't break into is his own style. Tight with his money, but loose with other people. This is Young Buck. This nigga got crazy weapon skills. He had my back since preschool. If it's got a caliber, he used it. Let's go. We moving out. This is Jacob. Toe to toe, he'll fuck niggas up. He fast as shit too. There's two things about me you gotta know. Make me your friend, I got your back for life. Make me your enemy, and the world ain't big enough for you to hide in.
I was playing that shit. So you know, if you played that game, you know it's a story. So you'll be on that bitch for about 2.5 hours. So as I'm in there playing the game still, when she come back, I'm still in there playing the game. She come back in the crib and she like, who left my damn TV on in the living room? I told y'all if y'all not gonna watch the TV, turn the TV off. I'm like, she ain't talking to me. Motherfucker, because I've been in the room playing the game. So whoever was watching that motherfucker, it wasn't me. But last time I checked, your ass was in that motherfucker watching. And then when you left the damn TV on. Because you could hear the TV. You were watching the TV. You left the TV on. So how's you coming in the crib getting mad at somebody else for some shit that you did? So I'm playing the game like she ain't talking to me. And then she comes in the room with that bullshit. Why you left the TV on in there? Why you ain't turn it off? I'm like, listen, shorty, you left the TV on when you left. I wasn't in there watching the TV when you left. I've been in here playing the game since you left. So, going somewhere else with that. Oh no, you're not finna be disrespecting me in my house. How am I disrespecting you? I'm disrespecting you because I'm telling you what the fuck you did. I'm pointing out that right now you're wrong because you're accusing somebody else of some shit that you did. So I'm pointing out your wrongs. So I'm disrespectful because you're wrong. Oh no, get out, get out. So now me and her getting this big ass argument, right? And now she wants me to get out. But it's crazy because I did nothing wrong. You want me to get out because you don't ever wanted to get out what you did, what you tried to do with me. You don't ever want me to tell your daughter what happened, but just in case if I do tell your daughter what happened, you want to be able to have some type of ammunition to say, oh, he only saying that because I kicked him out. You get what I'm saying? So y'all who know, y'all know the games that people play. So we got in a big argument. And she like, get out. But I'm the type of nigga, you ain't got to tell to get out more than once. I'm like, shit, no problem. So I grab my shit and I'm like, shit, get the fuck up out of here. And she steady talking shit. As I'm getting my shit, she's talking crazy. I mean, she's yelling, she's talking all kinds of crazy. So I'm like, I'm trying to ignore it. I'm ignoring it for the most part. But some of the shit that she's saying, was kind of hitting the nerve, right? So I'm like, let me get my shit the fuck about here, stupid ass. So because I'm talking back, that's getting her even madder. So she, so she's getting louder and louder, right? So I get my shit, boom, right? I get my shit, I get out the crib. As I leave the crib, I walk out the door. I walk down, because she got two doors, and then it was stairs. So I walk out the 2 doors, I got my bag. She was so mad that I didn't fuck her because I did nothing wrong. I did nothing to you for you to be this mad other than turn you down. So I get to the bottom of the stairs and she comes outside, she grabbed a bat. And she comes outside with the bat. So I'm like, oh no, we don't do that. We don't do that. We don't play them type games. That's not what you're about to do. You're not about to grab a weapon. You're not about to do that. That's where we draw the line. That's where the line is drawn. But you can do a lot of damage with a bat. And in a lot of cases, all it takes is one swing to be on the money. So no, we're not doing that. So when I seen her with the bat, it struck a nerve. It struck a nerve and I dropped my bag and she was standing at the top of the stairs. I was at the bottom of the stairs. And I dropped the bag and I told her, do what you gotta do. But let me tell you this. When you swing that motherfucker, you better make sure you don't miss. You better make sure you connect, and you better make sure that connection that you connect with is all the fuck that you need. Because I'm telling you right now, if you miss, if you don't connect how you expect to connect, this is going to be a sad day for you. This is going to be a very sad day for you. My ex at the time, she had told him, once I said that, my ex got in front of her mama and she grabbed the bat. And she's like, no, mama, you don't know him. Trust me when I tell you, you do not want to do that. You do not know him. You don't want to do that. Trust me. So I tell her, no, go ahead, get out the way, let her do what she got to do. Handle your business. Her mother's yelling at the top of her lungs, screaming. And at this time, I heard police sirens. When I hear the sirens, I look around, and as I'm looking around, there was a lot of people outside. Neighbors are outside. Kids just got off the school bus. Like, it was a lot of people on the block. And mind you, this was on the south side of Chicago, so there was a lot of people outside who was witnessing this situation. And when I seen all the people that were out there, I didn't even realize at the time, because we're, engaged in what we got going on, I'm not even realizing that it's kids just getting off a school bus. So then that's when I grab my bag and I take off. And my ex, she run down the stairs and she come and she run up the block and she go with me. And she's trying to make excuses for her mama, and I'm like, I don't want to hear none of that shit. Because what you don't know is your mama tried to smash me. Your mama, she wanted that. What you don't know is my homeboy, my partner, who your mama been talking to, he had already showed me pictures in his phone, because when me and him linked up, he like, yo, who is Shorty? I'm like, yo, that's the chick I'm fucking with, that's her mama. So he like, yeah, you like, look at what she sending me. And she was sending him all kinds of nudie pics. You get what I'm saying? So that just gives you an idea of the type of mama that she was. But yeah, come to find out, fast forward, man. I was there when the baby was born. I was holding her leg. I was holding her foot and her leg as she was pushing him out. I cut the umbilical cord. When he was born, I paid for the diapers, the wipes, the bottles, pacifiers, clothes, shoes, everything that he needed. Milk, formula, all of that. I paid for all that shit. Because when she had him, she wasn't working no more. So she couldn't provide it. I bought him all that shit. And the clothes that I bought him were name brand shit. Shoes that I bought him, name brand shit. Nice shit. I claimed them. I took care of him. I was there for him. I was in his life. I spent time with him. All of the whole 9 yards. All the way up until he was 2.5. Just to find out that he's not even mine.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
He's not even mine. He's not even mine. And that we'll talk about in another video. But as for today, man, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I just wanted to give y'all that story time, man, about when I got kicked out, moved in with my homegirl and her mama. Her cousin tried to smash. Her mama tried to smash. I thought I had a baby with the chick. So that's why I stayed there, because I'm like, man, at this point, you know what I'm saying, no turning back. So thought I had a baby with her, so I stayed. And as I stayed, man, shit just got more and more messy. But that was a Jerry Springer, Maury type of situation that I was in. It was one of them things, like I used to watch Jerry Springer and Maury growing up, and you never think that you would be in a situation like that. You know what I mean? You hear about those type of stories, but you never think that, that'll ever be you. At least I didn't think it would be me. But it was. All right, man, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all coming, kicking it with me, stopping by one more time, all of my Silverback Gorilla Gang family. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. If this is your first time, hit that like, hit that subscribe, become a part of the family, baby. And until next time, Silverback Gorilla Gang.